In today's shoot, I'm going to be capturing a fetish-themed fashion shoot with a beautiful model and a gorgeous balloon set. As you all know, I love exploring different facets of fashion photography and beauty, and this can take so many different forms. If you follow my work, I shoot everything from fine art nudes to beauty editorials to portraiture, and so I wanted to try something new and something beautiful, and that is how we came up with today's shoot. So this is actually a collaboration between myself, my model Kenzie, as well as my friend who is also a creative director and producer and model, Bryona Ashley. So Bryona actually came to me with this concept, and she had this, beautiful pink background inspiration. And so her and Kenzie spent how many hours building this set? 3 hours blowing up these balloons, building this set. And so right there is the inspiration. So the concept is we wanted to take some fetish styling, a beautiful balloon background, and make everything a monochromatic pink on pink on pink. So this is where sometimes it's kind of cheating for me. I work with amazing people that give me something amazing to shoot, and then it's just my job to light it, to bring it to life. And so that's what I want to show you today. So they gave me the beautiful ingredients, and then I have to figure out how to light. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create something that would be flattering for my model, give dimension to those balloons, and also play with this monochromatic color scheme. So I'm going to build in light by light. In the end, I ended up using 4 different strobes. So let's begin with the first one. My main light is over here to the left-hand side of the frame, and it is a Westcott Optical Spot, which you may know I designed in collaboration with Westcott. Now this is a powerful modifier because it allows you to project patterns and shapes on your scene and subject. But here I'm using it as nothing more than a spotlight. So I don't have any shapes in it, but instead I'm using the circle that it projects to create a stage-like presence to this scene. And so let's take a look at what that first light is giving us. So shot number 1. So as you can see, I love this effect when I'm photographing anything that's meant to be theatrical, maybe look like burlesque or a stage performance, because it gives me that spotlight look. Now, the edges of that circle are rather diffused, but what's nice is the lens on the front of the optical spot can actually sharpen if I want a razor sharp circle, but I like the diffuse effect a little bit more for this image. All right, so as you can see, the shot, it's nice, it's dramatic, but it's lacking a little bit of dimension. And those balloons, it's a set that they built, they spent a lot of time. I want to give it depth, and so I need to give some illumination to the balloons. So the next light that we have is actually the overhead light, which is a 1 by 4 foot strip softbox. What this will do is it will create a light that kisses down not only on the subject's hair and body, but also on the top of the balloons, giving them a nice dimensional reflection. So now I'm going to add in that second strobe. Okay, so I think this is amazing. I think that it creates a ton of depth, and I would be completely happy to just shoot with these 2 lights. So if you don't have many strobes to work with, you can see that this does the trick. However, I have a few more tools I can play around with, and so I'm going to do so. So one of the things that I think about this shoot is that Kenzie, the way that she presents herself and the way that she's modeling, a lot of it is really playful. It's really upbeat, it's really engaging, and so I don't think lighting like this is quite appropriate because it looks a little bit too dark and dramatic, maybe a little bit too heavy. And so for me, that indicates that maybe I need a fill light. Maybe I want to lift up those shadows. And so I'm going to create something that looks a little bit more bubblegum, a little bit more cotton candy, something that is a little bit more playful. And that's where this fill light comes into play. So I am going to add a bare bulb with a purple gel. And the reason I wanted to add a purple gel is that it will still match the feeling, this monochromatic color scheme. But if I added a magenta, you might not even be able to tell the difference between the main light and the fill. In other words, everything would just blend because it's pink on pink. So by adding something that's a little bit of a different hue, there'll actually be some differentiation between the main light and the fill light. So I'm going to add that third light now. All right, so you can see how this has added a lot of fill to the shadows, and now everything is much more high key, more upbeat. But what I love about the fact that this is a strobe, rather than trying to add, a bounce fill to fill in the shadows, is that I can control the ratio of light. In other words, if I want the shot to be a little bit more dramatic, I turn it down. If I want it to be even brighter and higher key, I turn it up. And I have that variability. So right now I'm going for that really poppy look, but I want to show you what it looks like with that light one stop darker. You can get something that's a little bit more dramatic where you can more clearly see the differentiation and see that circle created by the optical spot. So one stop down. Both of these approaches work, but you can see this gives you something that's just a little bit more dramatic. So far we have 3 strobes, our optical spot, our 1x4 foot strip, and we have this purple fill light. And it would be fine to stop there, but I am going to add one more light. And this final light is going to be a Strip Softbox as a rim light. So with this fetish wear and with this beautiful look, as Kenzie moves and poses, I want to emphasize her physique. And so I thought a little bit of a highlight on the side of her body might draw even more attention to her curves. And so that is why we're adding this final strobe. So this highlight is pretty subtle, but I do think it makes a nice complementary separation. All right, so there's one more thing to add to this equation. And anytime I'm doing something that's burlesque or something that's fetish or something that is glamorous like this, and there's some rhinestones or sparkles, well, if you know my work, you know that I love a star filter. I love to add this to the mix. So here I have a 4-point star filter. What it does is anywhere that there is a specular highlight, like a really bright highlight reflecting off of some sort of shiny surface, it'll give me a star effect. Now, there are many different types of star filters, but the 4-point star filter, I find that very often it creates the most dramatic results. And here, I'm not going for subtle, I am going for drama. So I'm going to add it to this shot and show you the difference. All right, so if you take a look at this now, you can see that this is making it incredibly glitz and glam, and you see all of those dramatic highlights. And as she moves and poses, it's going to pick up different reflections on her body, which creates a nice bit of variability to the shots. So we have all of the key ingredients, and for these images, I have chosen a Canon R5 and the Canon 24-105 RF lens. Now the reason I selected this is I want to be able to shoot full-length wide shots and then pop in for closer shots, and having this zoom capability is going to allow me to shoot quickly. All right, so with that, I love all of the ingredients that we have to work with. I know Kenzie is an amazing model, so I am excited to see her work. All right, let's do it. I love the shots that we got because they are sexy, they're playful, they're energetic, and I think they show a lot of her personality. And of course, this doesn't happen without collaborating with a great team. Now, speaking of, if you've enjoyed this image and this set and you want to photograph more looks like this, well, I actually offer a workshop that's called a fashion fetish workshop. So if you visit learnwithlindsay.com and you check out the workshop section, you'll be able to see the type of workshops where you have the ability to come into my studio. I help produce incredible looks, and then you have the opportunity to capture them for yourself. So be sure to check out the links in the description below if you want to check out the workshops, as well as all of the gear that was used in the making of these images, and the credits to my team and amazing model. All right, everybody, so be sure to like and subscribe because I have more videos just like this one coming your way. See you next time.